Hey, did you know I had a merch store? Totally, like it wasn't there all this time. Anyways, yeah, I have a merch store. Pretty much my main thing is stickers and I guess clothing if anyone considers that. But yeah, you can get stickers legitimately based off my own characters that I draw. And of course my main channel logo. If you'd like any of this, it's in the description. Hi there, and welcome to a new series that I hope will stay, talking about all the Roblox maps that I have, specifically on each of the versions of those Roblox maps. This video will be on the most popular Roblox map by far, Sky City. This map is very old, ranging back to 2020, back when I did Roblox train crashing videos en masse, I guess. However, I'm not going to talk about the train crashing videos or the Roblox rail fanning videos I simulated. I'm just going to talk about how the versions were and how I pretty much built the city. Alright, let's get into it. So the first version is, of course, OG Sky City. This is where I first built the map and decided to go for some form of like a city, but I didn't really put much detail into it and I frankly didn't care. But this was also 2020, where I wasn't particularly good at building cities and towns, so you pretty much got what you got there. The city itself wasn't very big, actually. It only went, well, pretty much between the first crossing and the overpass. Keep in mind of the overpass for later. It wasn't very good. The buildings were just plastered anywhere that I could think of. But it was a start, and I guess it was pretty okay, I guess. You may note that in this version there's no beach, because back then I wasn't thinking of a beach. In fact, I pretty much just wanted a city in a valley type of thing. Overall, in terms of, well, the city in terms of how the lore works or whatever, at this time Sky City was 4 tracks, and of course it remained that way up until the present day. 3 tracks were non-electrified, while the 4th was electrified. As seen here, you can see the catenary. Of course, the one crossing was there, and the station was actually north of this crossing. As of now, it's actually just south of the crossing, but the original 1-track station was north of the crossing. A minor update gave the city a second crossing, which is located just north of the overpass, or pretty much right next to it. As of today, this crossing is actually where the southern end of the train station is. Other than that, Sky City was pretty much, well, Sky City. The second version is called Small City Era. This is pretty much the same Sky City, except, well, the city itself was updated to be a bit more detailed and have, semblance of a city. The station was moved to its current place and, well, stayed there in between the 2 crossings I mentioned just before. In fact, speaking of crossings, 2 more were added, one south of the original area and one north of the original area. The one south of the original area is actually south of the overpass itself, and the northern one kind of looked like a dead end. Traffic lights were added, which lasted, well, a couple years actually, before I removed them due to lag issues. The city itself was actually slowly expanding north and south, in particular southward, as there were new buildings, and of course with the addition of the new crossing just there, things were slowly expanding. The next version is the beach update. This update overhauled the map completely. This update gave Sky City the iconic beachfront that it has today, and it expanded the map up to 5 times its original size. Yeah, the original Sky City map was pretty tiny, honestly. Other than the map size and the beachfront, some new things came in. The city itself was overhauled, adding some new things and new amenities, and in general, well, it just looks great. The station itself, well, gained a little canopy, but other than that, it was, well, something, I guess. Overall, the most impactful thing from this overhaul slash update was the beachfront. The beachfront will remain a thing, well, forever at this point, as this one thing, aside from other things, defines Sky City more than it used to. Next up, we have the city update. This update pretty much upgraded the city and maybe some surrounding things, but in general, everything stayed relatively the same. The overpass, which actually cut the city in half, if you will, was moved to the south to make the city, well, better connected, I guess, and there was actually another overpass added to the north of the city. The station was upgraded, and the catenaries, which originally only encompassed one line, encompasses now two. Next up is the Southern Expansion. This one made the city, or in general just the map, 2 times bigger than it was. So if you have times 5, well, you have now times 10. The Southern Expansion created a little small district just south of the city called Sky City South. Not very creative if you ask me. As well, 2 crossings were added, one at the southern limit of the city and one in the district of Sky City South. You could say there was a northern expansion, however, in general, expansions like this are due to the longer freight trains that typically come with, well, updates. In short, freight trains just got longer, and I decided to expand the map, and decided, well, I might as well create a new area with this expansion. Next up, we have the Depressing Tint Era. This is when I decided to use a tint. It didn't look very good, and arguably made everything look depressing. But in general, there was some minor details added, such as the palm trees and maybe some crossing details as well as signals. But in general, well, Depressing Tint Era, am I right? The last update is called, well, the present day, because I can't seem to think of anything on the spot. There's not really much in terms of this update, aside from the fact of repositioning signals, upgrading buildings, upgrading the station building, adding in some new buildings, removing the traffic lights because, as said before, it caused lag, and some other minor details that you probably never paid attention because all you're paying attention to is the trains. Really, there wasn't much to it, but hey man, it's something. But yeah, that's pretty much it. 7 updates over the course of, well, 5 years. That is Sky City's entire history. Is this map playable? No. It's gonna be very, very difficult to make this playable, honestly. So I will not be doing that. And if you're wondering how I even make these videos, I simulate them. I set it up and make it run. Anyways, that's the first video on the history of my Roblox maps. I really hope I actually keep this series alive instead of killing it after, say, the second video. But anyways, thanks for watching, and see you later.